Nikola Tesla is a scientist who engraved his name in the pages of history with golden letters, revolutionizing the fields of energy and electricity with his inventions. Tesla was born on July 10, 1856, in a small village in Croatia, into a Serbian Orthodox family. Among 5 siblings in the Tesla family, Nikola was the 4th child, and unfortunately, his childhood was quite challenging. Like Nikola, his mother was also highly intelligent and hardworking. She would read books whenever she found a moment and constantly sought to educate herself. It is believed that Nikola inherited many of his traits from his mother. She even invented tools to make household chores easier so she could create more time for reading. One of the major reasons for Tesla's difficult childhood was his brother. Tesla's family often compared him to his brother, which negatively impacted his self-confidence. Tragically, his brother died at the age of 12 after falling off a horse. Tesla's parents blamed him for the accident, believing he had frightened the horse, and held him responsible for his brother's death. These difficult times and childhood traumas are thought to have contributed to Tesla's peculiar and introverted personality. Tesla's uniqueness wasn't limited to his childhood experiences. He exhibited many extraordinary behaviors throughout his life. For instance, he would count every step he took when walking outside, and never allowed anyone to touch his hair. He had a fascination with shiny objects, and would always calculate the cubic content of his food before eating. Interestingly, if he couldn't calculate it, he would refuse to eat altogether. Despite these peculiarities, Tesla took great pleasure in reading and writing poetry. He also possessed an extraordinary memory, which seemed almost unbelievable, even from a young age. Now that we've discussed Tesla's general traits and childhood, let's delve into the rest of his life, which was filled with tragedies and challenges far greater than those of his early years. Nikola Tesla attended 2 universities during his lifetime. The first was the Polytechnic Institute in Graz in 1873, and the second was the University of Prague in 1880. Initially, Tesla had a strong interest in mathematics and physics, and aimed to pursue a career in those fields. However, when he was introduced to the world of electricity, he became fascinated and decided to specialize in that area. In 1881, Tesla found his first job, an electrical engineer at a telephone company in Budapest. Before starting his life in America, he worked at the Continental Edison Company in Paris, where he designed dynamos. In 1883, Tesla invented a prototype of an induction motor, which he considered highly advanced. However, since he couldn't find anyone to support him, he accepted a job offer from New York. After moving to America, Tesla began working for Edison Machine Works, a company owned by Thomas Edison, who would later become his rival. Tesla arrived in New York in 1884 and was greatly impressed by Edison's work ethic and engineering skills. Edison promised Tesla $50,000 for designing and improving his DC dynamos. After working tirelessly 4 months and solving the problem, Tesla asked for the promised payment. However, Edison refused to pay and dismissed the matter. Following this, Tesla left Edison's company after 6 months. It is claimed that Edison remarked, "Tesla, you don't understand American humor." Some accounts also suggest that Tesla attempted to sell his AC patents to Edison for $50,000, but Edison mockingly rejected the offer. After parting ways with Edison, Tesla tried to patent the arc lighting systems he had developed while working there. During this time, he met businessmen Robert Lane and Benjamin Vail, who would later become his financial sponsors. In March 1885, Tesla, along with Lane and Vail, founded the Tesla Electric Light and Manufacturing Company in Rahway, New Jersey. Tesla attempted to patent the generator he developed that year and sought financial support from his investors. Unfortunately, none of the investors showed interest in the project or provided any support. Worse still, they suddenly withdrew all their investments, leaving Tesla penniless. As a result, Tesla lost the patents he had assigned to the company and was forced to shut it down. In dire need of income, Tesla began doing small electrical jobs. Reflecting on this difficult period, Tesla described it as filled with terrible headaches and tears of anguish. A year later, Tesla met Alfred S. Brown, an inspector, and Charles F. Peck, a lawyer. Together, the 3 formed the Tesla Electric Company in 1887. They agreed to divide any profits from their patents equally among themselves. Motivated by this new partnership, Tesla began working tirelessly in a laboratory they established in Manhattan, where he could focus on developing new projects and innovations. Tesla rarely left the lab, driven both by his passion and the need to secure financial stability. Tesla, who had faced numerous betrayals and injustices in the past, was determined to succeed. Unlike others, he never approached his inventions with a commercial mindset. Instead, he dedicated his work to humanity. On January 8, 1943, at the age of 86, Nikola Tesla tragically passed away in a hotel room. Nikola Tesla's mind was brilliant when it came to mathematics, physics, and electricity, but unfortunately, he lacked the same aptitude for commerce. As a result, he spent much of his life in financial hardship. Tesla lost patents for almost all of his inventions, and sadly, some were never patented at all. The most painful fact is that one of the first people to exploit him, Thomas Edison, later acquired patents for many of Tesla's inventions, using them to generate enormous profits. As mentioned, Tesla dedicated all his work to humanity, and one of his dreams was to provide free electricity to everyone. While this idea may seem impossible to us today, Tesla truly believed he could achieve it at the time. However, because these ideas lack scientific feasibility and Tesla could not secure any financial backing, they were buried with him when he passed away. Although Tesla was a scientist, his faith and his eccentric ideas sometimes led him beyond the bounds of science, claiming he could achieve things that were scientifically impossible. This phenomenon can occasionally be observed even in the most brilliant scientists. An example of Tesla's unconventional ideas is his claim that he invented the first functional radio before its officially recognized inventor. This claim itself is not unusual or unreasonable, as disputes like these are not uncommon in the history of science. However, what made Tesla's assertion unusual was his claim that he used his radio invention to communicate with aliens on Mars. Yes, you heard that right. Nikola Tesla genuinely claimed to have invented the radio first and to have used it to contact Martians. While Tesla was an extraordinary scientist and a genius, he also had eccentric thoughts, the reasons for which remain unknown. Another troubling aspect of Tesla's legacy today is the rise of unnecessary fanaticism surrounding him. On social media, some so-called science writers attribute inventions to Tesla that he never even conceived of, portraying actions he never performed as his own. If there were a question about the greatest harm one could do to a scientist, this exaggerated and unwarranted fanaticism must be the answer. As we mentioned earlier, there are many fabricated claims and myths surrounding Nikola Tesla. We would like to discuss some of these, because we believe such lies and false accusations can be incredibly damaging for a scientist. One of the most widespread false claims is that Tesla was the scientist with the most patents and inventions in the world. Yes, Tesla did indeed have numerous patents and inventions, but as we mentioned in earlier parts of this video, he was not good at protecting his rights and lacked a business-oriented mindset. As a result, he lost many patents, even for inventions he had created. In fact, some of these patents were taken by Thomas Edison, whom we all know, and others by people who had previously betrayed him. Now, let's debunk another piece of misinformation that might surprise you. Many people claim that Nikola Tesla was the inventor of transformers, and this belief is widely accepted. However, Tesla was neither the inventor of transformers nor the holder of their patents. The first transformers were invented in the late 1870s by the Ganz Company, which was based in Budapest. To put this in perspective, Tesla had not even graduated yet when these transformers were invented. The transformers were created by three inventors, Karoli Zipanowski, Miksa Deri, and Arto Blathy. Once it was definitively proven that these three individuals were the actual inventors of transformers, Tesla enthusiasts shifted their claim, arguing that Tesla invented the first modern transformers. However, they overlooked another important fact: the first modern transformers were also invented by someone else. The true inventor of the modern transformers we use today was William Stanley, who created them in 1885. As you can see, Tesla enthusiasts often try to attribute many inventions to him, but historical evidence and documents clearly prove otherwise. There are many other inventions that Tesla enthusiasts falsely claim he created. such as the first radar, the first loudspeakers, and the first induction coil. The list goes on, but in reality, most of these inventions were indeed created by others. For example, the first functional induction coil was developed long before Tesla was even born. Apart from inventions, people often compare Tesla to other scientists, most notably Thomas Edison. This rivalry became so intense that it was even covered in newspapers and magazines. At one point, the feud between Tesla and Edison reached such a level that people began claiming Tesla was supposed to receive a Nobel Prize, but rejected it because he would have had to share it with Thomas Edison. Both men despised each other, and their supporters were equally passionate and combative in defending their respective idols. Let's delve into the widely discussed story of Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla, whose rivalry has often overshadowed their inventions. What began as a partnership ended in animosity and competition. As we mentioned earlier, in 1884, Nikola Tesla, struggling to find support for his work, moved to New York to work in America. There, he began working for Thomas Edison, the engineer and owner of Edison Machine Works. Edison was greatly impressed by Tesla's sharp intellect, craftsmanship, and diligence. He offered Tesla $50,000 to improve the designs of his DC dynamos. Tesla worked tirelessly for months, devoting himself to this project every single day. After completing the project and perfecting the designs, Tesla approached Edison to claim the promised $50,000. However, Edison mockingly dismissed Tesla's request. Feeling betrayed, Tesla decided to quit and leave Edison's company. As time passed, Edison grew wealthier, while Tesla, unfortunately, faced increasing struggles. Two investors Tesla had partnered with eventually abandoned him, leaving him without any financial backing. Another claim suggests that these investors, while refusing to support Tesla, struck a deal with Edison instead. The real conflict between Edison and Tesla began with the War of Currents, a rivalry between Edison's direct current DC and Tesla's alternating current AC. While Edison advocated for DC, Tesla supported AC, emphasizing its variable nature. Tesla's position was significantly weaker than Edison's, as he had far fewer resources and influence. Competing with Edison under such circumstances was a monumental challenge. However, Tesla had a critical advantage. Alternating current was far cheaper than direct current. Consumers who initially preferred DC eventually switched to AC to save on costs, frustrated by the financial and reputational losses caused by Tesla. Edison launched a series of smear campaigns against AC in an attempt to discredit Tesla and eliminate his competition. These campaigns were cruel and, at times, shocking. Edison claimed that alternating current was extremely dangerous and sought to prove his point in gruesome ways. One infamous example was the electrocution of Topsy the elephant, a circus animal. Edison arranged for 6,600 volts of AC to be applied to Topsy, killing the elephant in front of an audience. This marked the first life lost in the battle between Tesla and Edison. Unfortunately, Edison didn't stop there. Several more animals were sacrificed in similar demonstrations to tarnish the reputation of AC. Despite Edison's efforts, he could not stop the rise of alternating current. In 1893, Westinghouse Electric, which held the patents for AC and was aligned with Tesla, received a monumental offer to provide electricity for the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago. Westinghouse quickly accepted the proposal and successfully electrified the entire event, greatly boosting AC's reputation. Following this success, Westinghouse received another offer to power the hydraulic plant at Niagara Falls. With great enthusiasm, Westinghouse accepted, further solidifying the superiority of alternating current. It became evident that AC was more powerful, practical, convenient, and cost-effective than DC. The outcome of the war of currents was clear. Alternating current was the winner. Though Edison had resorted to brutal tactics and caused the deaths of many animals, he ultimately had to admit defeat. He stepped aside, abandoning his campaign against AC and accepting that Tesla and his alternating current had won the battle. Thus, the rivalry between the two great inventors came to an end, with Tesla emerging victorious in this historic clash. As you can see, no matter how brilliant, inventive, or important these great figures are, even among such influential individuals, ego battles can arise. The thing that harms both of these scientists the most is the fanaticism of those who take sides. These fanatics often spread baseless claims about their chosen figure in an attempt to elevate them over the other. Unfortunately, such actions only serve to tarnish the legacy of these scientists. Let this be a reminder. Always verify claims and ensure there is evidence to back them up before believing or defending them. This has been the story of Nikola Tesla's life and his rivalry with Edison. Unfortunately, that's all we have for today. Before we wrap up, don't forget to support the growth of our channel by subscribing, liking our videos to help them reach more people, and sharing your thoughts and video ideas in the comments. See you in our next video. Stay safe and take care.